afternoon. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Dear Future Me. Excuse me while I oil up my hands. Little secret about me. I do not like lotion. I do not like lotion, but I needed to be on here with you beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our second session. It's my second filming for Dear Future Me podcast, and the response was really good, so I'm excited to join you guys this Saturday. I'm still working on my setup. I ordered some things, and they were not right. I ordered 2 microphones and the holders, and they did not fit. So I'm waiting for my new microphones to come so that I can invite guests. Right now, I just have my one microphone for myself, my very own special HyperX microphone. This is one of the ones that was recommended when I was doing podcast setups and how it should work. So, yeah. So this one came highly recommended. I heard I should get Yeti. If anybody have any recommendations, please do feel free to let me know. But I thought this one was really cute, and it's for me. It has a volume button down here. I don't know if you can, it's really not making a difference to me, but hey, it's good for gaming, it's good for podcasting. They said Twitch and some other ones that I don't know. But again, thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Latasha Resper. I am the founder and CEO of the Key Collection. Like I told you guys last week, each time I come on, I'm going to display another one of my beautiful kimonos. This is my manifestation kimono here. This one is in the kiwi green and silver. It is beautiful. Like I told you, it's one of my first pieces that I launched for the Key Collection. Thanks to my beautiful mentor. I probably mention her every time I come on, Miss Natasha Main. She was the first one to debut it along with Rihanna and a few other notables. Stormy Wellington was in it, some more the comedian, Tabitha Brown, and I got another surprise. I'll unveil that one when it airs. But I wanted to come to you. This is going to be every Saturday, 3 p.m. You can expect me to be on my podcast. And today we're going to just talk about some of the challenges I faced in starting the podcast. Like, because I thought I could just go. The lighting is another thing. I'm waiting to get some better lighting. And the sound pretty good the last time. I have my music set up. I use this platform called Epidemic Music Sound. So they have free music that you can download and utilize. They have a program too, a monthly program that you could just stream as much as you want. But right now I'm on a free trial still, and the sound was really good. Sound like you guys might like it. This is called Balloon's instrumental version. I went with the hip hop version. But yes, guys, I am just getting myself acquainted to being on camera. This is one of the things that I feared the most. But as I said before, I'm knocking out all fear, all procrastination, and I'm moving forward with my goals and aspirations. And believe it or not, as a kid, I always wanted to be a movie star. So I moved to California in 1993 to pursue a career in acting. Prior to getting into the fashion industry, I went out there to pursue a career in acting, and it was a little bit on the dark side. I hadn't had any personal experience with myself, but I've seen a lot of things and living in LA. I used to work for No Limit, Priority Records, so I was involved in a lot of the industry activities during that time, especially for video shoots and the BET Awards and the MTV Awards and 106 in Park and all of those things. So I was on the road with Master P and a lot of the guys for a long time. And some of the things that I witnessed in the industry, it was just, and it's crazy now to see it all come to fruition. It's like, wow. A lot of the women are coming out talking about how they had been sexually assaulted, abused. You see so much scandal out there right now, and I can literally attest and say, yeah, that was going on. You know, not everybody's telling the truth, but not everybody's lying. Wink, wink. It's a lot more truth than it is lies out there. But, you know, those are some of the things that women faced back in those eras. You mean those video ages when, you know, everybody was just shaking their butts. And, I mean, they were there to make money, you know, as a career, but, you know, a lot of it backfired on a lot of people. So at that point, I kind of halted my career wanting to become a Hollywood actress. And then I went into the Fashion Institute to get a degree in fashion design, because fashion has always been my passion, let me just be honest. Like, even before acting, I always loved clothes. My mom, like I said previously, my mom was a fashionista, so was my grandmother. I took home economics in school, and that's when I sewed my first pair of leggings and my first pair of linen pants. I mean, they were horrible on the inside. I mean, the serge and everything was horrible, but on the outside, they were super cute. They were linen. I never forget, they were bone linen pants, which is this color, cream linen, and they were trimmed with the silk trim at the cuff. And those pants were so cute, but they were horrible in the inside. And I sewed a pair of red stretch pants. And then I sewed a couple more pieces in college, but I didn't debut any of those things. Like I said before, fashion had been a part of me since a kid. So those are some of the, you know, the things that I went through prior to getting into the fashion industry. Like I said before, I worked in the music industry by fluke. I got in there by fluke. I was living in LA, and I worked in Nordstrom's. I worked at Bloomingdale's for 6 months each, and retail just not my thing. And I was contemplating on moving back to DC. I was just like, man, I don't know if I want to be here, but LA was so fun, y'all. I mean, when I say absolutely loved LA, the only reason I came back to DC is because of my kids, because I knew I grew up with my my parents, my grandparents, my grandmother, so I wanted my kids to be around their grandparents. So I came back here. My kids were 4 years old at the time. That's what brought me back to LA, because had it not been for my kids, I would have still been there. LA was just like, LA was LA. LA was LA for sure. Some of my best memories were in LA. I loved LA. And it brought me back here back in 2007. I came back to DC. And I've been trying to get back out ever since. But hey, all jokes aside, I'm moving to Ghana though, actually. I'm moving to Ghana. I was supposed to move to Ghana back in October. Unfortunately, I went with some issues, had to deal with some issues with my mom's health. She's doing tremendously well now. But I mean, there was like back to back to back. I lost my dog in June of last year. I got me a new baby now though, but I lost my dog in June of last year. So there was a few things that I was undergoing that I had to put my move to Ghana on hold. But now I'm moving as God see fit, but I know that God is going to make a way for me to move this coming year, this year here. So with that being said, with that being said, that's how I got into the fashion industry. And because I always wanted to be a Hollywood supermodel, I said, listen, let's just come to life on the podcast. Let's just come to life on YouTube. So here I don't have to have any cameras in my face because I'm very shy. Let me not say I am. I was very shy in speaking in public. I took these Toastmaster classes so I can learn how to speak in public, and they would tell us to like just to find an object on the wall and focus on that. Even in college when I had to do presentations, my girlfriend and I would like drink. I was like, just give me a shot so I could just get through it. And I found myself, I'm in a class of like 15 of us, and when I went back to look at the videos, because back then, we didn't have cell phones that record anything like that, but the teacher would record it on a camcorder. And I would look at my video, I was like, dang, I went so fast, because they would give us like 3 minutes. I'd be done with my segment in like a minute, because I would just push through it, because I was just so afraid to speak in front of crowds. So when they came out with podcasting, I don't have to be here with nobody other than myself and my guests that I'm going to invite moving forward. Over time, I know, because I'm already seeing myself on stages. I'm already seeing myself on runway shows, because trust and believe, the key collections to head down the runway, the key collections are going to be in Vogue magazine, Women's Wear Daily, you name it. We're going to be all over the place. Paris, everywhere. You're going to see the key collection coming up soon. So I had to prepare myself, but what better way to prepare myself than being on a podcast alone in my home, in my own little bourgeois studio. You see my baby girl right there. This is, and I told you guys I'm a plant mom. So this here is a real fiddle leaf, and she was a baby when I got her. And I've only had her a year, and I have my kimono with some feathers. I just gave it a feather head. But that's inspiration too for my fashion. I'm thinking about adding some feathers to some pieces that I got coming up. But I just want to come and talk to you guys and just get better acquainted with the camera. I'm thinking about possibly going live with some people sometime, so that way I can, people that are not able to come to my home, we can still podcast from social media, and I'll just download the video and put it on YouTube. So as I'm looking, I'm just going through some other people's YouTube and just see, I'm just learning. I'm just finding my way through this social media, YouTube, and see how I fit in. Like, I'm fitting in, but I'm just trying to figure out how some people do things versus how I want to do things, or adding how I do things. I'm thinking about adding some cooking segments on there because yes, your girl does know how to cook, and I am vegan, so I have so many recipes that that I make, and people always ask me like, how did it taste, or how was it, or how did I do it? So I'm thinking about adding some cooking segments on there, some fashion segments on there, like get ready with me. I'm definitely going to add the setup. When I finally get everything set up, I'm waiting on my microphones. Like I said, I'm waiting for my microphones, and I'm going to change this setup as well too. I have some chairs that I want to put right here for when guests come, so I'm going to remove the desk and put them chairs up. So it's just different things that I'm going to be doing. I want to have my kids on. My kids going to come on and talk about growing up, how it was growing up with me, and it's going to be some things that, you know, because these things are not, we're not pre-scripting. We're just going to get on here and we're just going to talk, like ask a question and just let it flow. You know, I just want this to be a really easy, let it flow kind of thing where people just come in and just talk. I mean, because so many people want to talk. So many people have a story. Right now we're dealing with a loss of one of my best friends. She just lost her dad the other day. You know, we just want to, we're in a world now where people just need to let their hair down and just breathe, because the world is shifting and moving so fast, like you don't even get a chance to like take it in. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a gift and a curse at the same time, but it's beautiful just to be a part of history. Like, we are making history and living to see history being made. So I am so grateful and so thankful to just wake up every morning and get a second chance at life. And each day I get up, I wake up with a new, like, come on, man, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like, I was just talking to my business partner. I don't know why my camera keeps shaking. I was talking to my business partner last night and just like, man, the wealth of ideas that we've had, and a number of people that we have helped execute so many ideas. And I'm like, man, what is it about us that we didn't push over that threshold of like financial freedom? Like, we have helped, man, I can't even count on both hands. I mean, people that myself has helped, because I'm the queen of networking. I am the networking queen. My business partner is the queen of research, admin, like anything. If I bring an idea to her, she's the person that's gonna put it together behind the scenes. But the push through, this is some of the things that I was talking about last night, like that breakthrough. What is that thing? What do you call that one thing? Is not anxiety. Like, you know, the first thing a doctor will try to do is diagnose you with anxiety or depression. But you do everything prior to, like, literally will be to the point where all you have to do is like pluck the door open. And for some reason, we cringe up and won't push the door. Like, wow, what do you call that when you're just afraid? It's not even afraid. I don't know why. Just tap the door. Just tap the door. And this is the thing that I'm working on this year. Like, there's not going to be an idea that comes to my mind that I don't execute. Period. Like, whatever vision God gives me, I am going to push through. Because I feel like it's a slap in the face for our God to give us ideas and we don't execute them, because everybody doesn't have the same idea, because we're all born with a gift. I feel like each one of us is born with our own special gifts. And if God gives you a vision to see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. And if you don't execute that gift, God will remove that gift from you. I think about all the people that are in the grave right now, all of the ideas that they have been buried with. No, our ancestors fought too hard to be shackled in chains, to be beat and murdered, for us not to use our gifts. So as a gift to me, as a gift to my kids, I'm going to utilize every gift that God gives me. If he gives me a thought, I'm going to execute it in integrity now, because sometimes I be having road rage. That'd be a different thought. I ain't going to execute on that thought. Your girl be behind bars. But the beautiful gifts, that the visions that God has given me in terms of fashion, in terms of music, in terms of health, in terms of philanthropy, in terms of investing. Like, I have so many billion-dollar ideas in my head that I have to bring them to fruition, not just for me, but for my kids and my kids' kids and my kids' kids' kids. I was listening to Reverend Ike the other day. Thank God for Reverend Ike. You know, my dad turned me on, like I told you before, like prior to me becoming this new version of myself, I grew up listening to Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard, Miles Monroe, like you name it. All of these top dogs I grew up listening to as a kid. My dad used to listen to this stuff on cassettes. I grew up 5 o'clock in the morning. My dad got the Capone set. You know, that's back then we used to have Capone set and video players, to just listening to this stuff early in the morning. I would just roll my eyes as a kid like, God, I'm just trying to sleep. I haven't even got up to go to school yet, and this stuff is on. So it was already pre-programmed in my head, but I didn't utilize it. You know, that's how fate works, though. It'd be things that come to you. You ever be somewhere and you might smell a scent or see a color or see something that reminds you of your ancestors. You'd be like, that, or something that when you was a kid, you'd be like, I remember that. Life is a cycle. Life goes around in circles. It will always come back. It will always come back to you, no matter what it is. Like right now, we're living in the Jetson age. I don't know how many of you guys remember the Jetsons, but the Jetsons, everything was electric, everything was futuristic, and now here we are with electric cars, cell phones. I mean, drones, all that stuff was like, that was back then. That was back then, but now we're living in it right now today. So growing up, I always listened to like motivational tapes, and my dad would do his version of Dream Days. We would go look at beautiful houses, he and my mom and me, and my mom would be in the back. I don't know why we're going to look at these. We can't afford this. My dad be like, nah, we manifesting this. We going to get it. And Lord and behold, my dad had all the nice cars, beautiful homes, everything that he had manifested. My dad was working in a retail store at this time and driving an ambulance. He then went into real estate. He went into insurance salesman, was always at the top of the game, making money, and they were able to buy their dream homes and dream cars. My mom, everything was just like, and so then as an adult in my 40s, I started hearing this again. When I joined, thank God for Total Life Changes. I joined Total Life Changes, and Stormy Wellington is huge on personal development. And she started to talk about the same guys. We would listen to the same stuff. And I'm like, well, I already know about that. My dad had all the books, had all the audio. I grew up listening to this stuff, you guys. And then it came back tenfold. And now I'm back again. So I'm like, let me put this stuff to work, because it really works. So I started meditating. I started manifesting. Hello, manifestation collection. I started manifesting like who I want to be. Who am I becoming? And it's happening. And here I am with you guys with my podcast today. And this podcast is going to be huge, you guys. This podcast is going to go viral. And I want to talk to you guys. I want to coach people. Like so many people have asked me to be a coach. And I'm like, wait a minute, let's slow down. I'm not in that space yet. I'm not comfortable in coaching anyone yet. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. So I had to take myself out of that too. because I would talk myself down, dim my own light. You know, I was that girl that could turn heads. When I go to places, his heads is turning, like, what is she wearing? What is she doing? I always had that aura about me, and I would always, like, as a kid, like, ugh, and my mom would always tell me, like, hold your shoulders back, because I was always tall. You know, I hated being tall as a kid, because back when I was a kid, we had to get in line quarter by height in elementary school. And of course, because I was the tallest, I was the last one in line. And I hated that. And I'm so glad that schools don't do that no more, because it was some of the most humiliating times when you had to be the biggest one in the class and you always at the back, you always in the back of all the pictures. They don't do it anymore. I don't know what made them stop, but I'm glad you guys stopped doing that. Teachers, school officials, I'm glad you guys stopped implementing that, because that was not a good place. But in 6th grade, we had a student come in. Her name was Keisha Torrance. Keisha Torrance was taller than me, and then all eyes were on her. It's so funny how life is, because everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's so tall, and now all the attention is off me, and I'm like, well, dang, now I miss being the tallest person in the class. But that's just one of the things. But anyway, I was always that girl that could walk in a room and turn heads. Everybody would be like, what is she wearing? Oh my God, what's this, what's that? And I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to, everybody be looking at me. I'm taking all the attention. And I'm like, you know, my friends are I have the most beautiful friends, man. I have 2 friends that I've been friends with since I was 7 years old. My best friend, her and I've been best friends since I was 11 years old. One of my other best friends been best friends since I graduated high school. And like, I'm talking about real sisters, real support system. And a lot of women suffer from women on women hate. I didn't have that. Like, my girls have been my girls. They don't judge me, you know, through my ups and downs, rights and wrongs. They have been in total support. They always support me, never try to beat down my ideas, you know, never offer a negative word, you know, but are always honest with me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. They're going to tell me. If I'm right, I'm right. They're going to tell me. They are my biggest cheerleaders, man. And the same way I am with them. Like, I'm going to be brutally honest with my friends. Like, if I see you falling off, I see you getting big and you're not doing the right thing, I'm going to speak up, because I'm speaking up for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I look bad, you look bad. If you look bad, I look bad, because we together. So we're going to rock this out together. So I'm going to be honest, whether you take my suggestion or not. You can't say I didn't tell you. I'm not going to have y'all here looking crazy. And I know a lot of women suffer from that. Like, you know, they feel like they don't have female friends because women backstab them or slept with their man and all that kind of stuff. I've never in my 50 years had to deal with that from a friend. Now, I've had some associates come and try to double cross me, but I am a good judge of character. I do allow time for women to play, or men to play with me. To think that you're playing, you ain't playing with me. You ain't playing. It's nothing that I don't see. But when it comes up, you gotta go. Now, my best friend, oh my God, see, she not like me. She gonna cut you off the minute she see. If she smells something, she like, oh nah, that's it. That's you. And you know, later on, when they double cross me, she the one to say, I told you, I knew that wasn't the right person. But I'm that person that will always give a person a chance. Yeah, that's just me. I'm always give a person a chance. And when you show me that other side, boom, bop, you're out of there. Now, I'm like that with females. I'm not like that with men. I don't give men no chance. I'm sorry. You can call it what you want. I don't give no man no chance to play with me. I don't give men a chance to play with me. You know, and that could be a reason that I'm single now. But hey, guess what? I'm single. I'm happy. And I won't be single for always. But I'm not that girl. But I am that girl with women. Like, so women will be associates first. And then it takes time to move into that friend zone. But they blow their cover as associates. So there you go. Toodles. But yes, I'm going to have a segment on that. I definitely have to have my friends on there, because one of my friends, we've been friends for over 40 years. My other friends, we've been friends 38 plus years. So a lot of people don't have that friendship. So I want these women, they are beautiful, attractive women. They don't have nothing to look down at themselves about. And they don't mind being in the room with me. I don't mind being in the room with them. We can grow and glow together. You know, I'm always the person that's going to be there for my friends. So we're going to talk about that. My friends are always there for me. We're there for each other's children. So this is real, genuine friendship, to the point that we are more of a sisterhood, because I never had a sister. I have a brother, but I've never had a sister. My little brother is much younger than me. He's 14, 16 years younger than me, so that's a huge difference. But my girlfriends, we've been friends forever. We've been through the storms, man. And we've never argued. My best friend and I, we've never had an argument. We have an understanding. I know when I'm getting on her nerves, and she know when she getting on my nerves. And we just back down, and we'll resume the next day like nothing ever happened. We don't have to address it. It's not, oh, you know what you did? Yes, never that. Never in 38 years have we've had disagreements, but we never had an argument. We just back down. We agree to disagree, flat out, without saying it. But yeah, so I'm gonna have my best friends come on and talk. We're gonna do some recipe. We're gonna share some recipes. We're gonna have a cooking session. I'm working on so many things. Like I said, there's no idea that God puts in my mind that it's right, because he only gives me good things in my head. There's no idea that God gives me in my head that I'm not gonna execute. I just have to plan it out and make sure that I work on one thing at a time. And that was another struggle of mine. I would put so many things that, it even stopped me from journaling a lot, because I used to journal, used to keep a diary as a kid all the time, would write down everything I ate that day, who I saw that day, what I did that day, and I stopped. And then I started back again as an adult. And if I didn't hit my targets, if I put my bullets for my to-do tasks, if I didn't hit my task, I don't know what it was. It was like a fear, like if I didn't hit them all, I'm just not doing it no more. If I don't do everything on this list, I'm just not doing it anymore. So what I've done now, I put down 3 or 4 things. 3 or 4 things. And if I don't hit all 3 or 4 of them, if I hit 2, then those are 2 I can carry over. Or 1 I can carry over. But it's much easier for me to hit 3 or 4 tasks than to do 10 tasks in a day. Because I'm not self-diagnosing myself with ADHD, but my mind will be running 100 miles an hour. And it's like, it's just too much. You're just trying to do too much at one time. So now I'll slow down. I'll take them task by task. And I learned to do everything in a circle. So whatever I have to do, if it includes outside, if I have to go 4 stops, they all gotta be in a circle. So I map out my time when I walk out the door. I'm going here, 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 and then it circles me back home. And it's been working out perfect. I've started doing that I started doing the tasks on what I'm doing in the circle when the gas prices first shot up to the roof. I'm like, I'm just not gonna be burning up gas going here, there, and everywhere, back and forth, back and forth. So just, you see how it works, how everything works together. So then now, when I'm not even worried about the gas prices, because first of all, they're not through the roof like that, but I realize, like, no matter if it's $10 a gallon, we still got to go outside. We still have stuff to do. So I didn't let that plague me and not doing what I'm supposed to do again. However, I've since added that to my task of what I need to do. So when I do stuff now, I chart it out. If I have to go to the grocery store, to my mom's house, to pick up my little play grandbaby, the grocery store is close to me. My mom's house is next, and then my grandbaby's school is near my house. So I'll go to the grocery store, my mom's house, grab the baby, and I'm back home. So that's how I learned to plan my day moving forward. Like, I have some things to do today. I have it all mapped out. I'm going to do this, and that'll circle me right back to the house. So those are some of the things that I use to keep me organized, to make sure that I hit my daily tasks and not to beat myself up so much, so that way I'm able to hit all my marks and not give up. So those are some of the things that I realized that was some of the blockages in me pushing through. So like I said, the conversation I was having with my business partner last night, try to figure out what are the blockages. And what some of the things that she mentioned was she get overwhelmed when it's too much. You want to do this, do this, do this. I said, let's just start working one at a time. Just do one thing, because I'm trying to get her on a fitness journey. I'm trying to get her on a healthy nutritional journey. I'm trying to get her on a business journey. So we're working together. We're going to hold each other accountable. And she's not good at what she does when it's too much on her. When she can't have, like, we'll say she don't work well under pressure. Whereas me, I work well under pressure. I feel like a lot of times I wait to the last minute just to push through. You know what I'm saying? Like during school, when I was in school, I never used to study. I never had to study. I was that girl that will study the day of the test and ace it. Me being in study groups, I would just be in study groups because they were required for us to be in study groups, but they never worked for me because I'm already gonna pass my test because I'm studying the day of the test. Right before the test, I'm cramming everything in and boom. But what I realized is that sometimes it held me back from comprehension because you can know the work by visualizing the work, by memorizing the work, but when it's come to comprehending the work, when someone asks you to work it from the front to back or back to front, you ain't got it. You don't have it because you haven't comprehended what it's saying. So my dad would make me read the dictionary when I was a kid, learning words. And, you know, back then we would do, we had 5 tasks. If you have a word, you got to put the word in the sentence. You got to define the word. You have to spell the word. And there was another thing. You had to do like 5 things. So we would work on one word for 5 days. And my dad would make me go back and make sure that I comprehend what I'm reading because I was an avid reader. I could read anything. I could pronunciate anything. Like those things were my issue. The comprehension was my issue. And I didn't realize that again until I was an adult. Like only till recently. I'm like, you know what? Let me read to comprehend. So what I do is read, also listen to it on audio. Sometimes I record myself saying things and play it back for myself just so I have the understanding of what it is I'm listening to or what it is that I'm reading. So that, when I talked to my business partner, those some of the things that we were going through. We were bouncing ideas off each other's head. Like, what is it that we have done or have not done to push us to the next level? And I'm like, it's nobody got more going on in their mind business-wise than we do. Like, we are like the ultimate business women. We can set up businesses from top to bottom for everybody else. Top to bottom. Everybody that have come in contact with me, and I'm going to have some of my testimonials come through. Some of the businesses that I've set up for people, man, they are like excelling in all of their businesses. It's like, wait a minute, why are we the mastermind of ideas and we aren't multimillionaires yet? But guess what? Stay tuned. It's coming. It's coming. I will be doing coaching. I will be doing mentoring. I have so many programs that I've had in my head that I'm going to put into to bring it to fruition that have been people have done exceedingly well under my tutelage. So trust and believe. I'm going to be an example of myself, not just to have students. And that's great too that I have students that have done exceedingly abundantly well under me, but I am also going to be a student of my own work, right? So it's nothing better than being an example of your own work. And I have been, like, honestly, I'm not going to beat myself up. I have been a huge student of my own work, especially when it comes to the fashion. Like, I love fashion. Everywhere I go, I get compliments all the time. And then to have a mentor who's here, oh man, I can only go up. I can only go up. And so it's only up from here. And thank God that she took me under her wing so that I can continue to grow. And it's so funny when you have a mentor, you look up to your mentor so much, but I find ourselves like we bouncing off each other. You know, she's mentoring me, I'm mentoring her, and she tell me like, thank you for, some of the ideas that I've given her. And I'm like, oh, little old me, like I can't dumb myself down like that because I do have a lot stored up in this beautiful brain of mine, right? So, and you too, we all have a gift. God has given each and every one of us our own gifts, and it's up to us to utilize our gifts, man, because guess what? There'll come a time your gift will die with you. You know how many gifts are in the cemetery? You know how many gifts are in the cemetery? And that's a slap in the face to our Creator, man. That's a slap in the face to God for us to have been birthed with gifts that we don't utilize. No more excuses. No more excuses. Listen, this is 2024. This is 2024. We are now in February. The year has only started a month and 3 days ago. What have you done? What have you done? Let us work to go further in 2024. man, because we're coming up on another war. Like right now, we've been at war for I don't know how long, but we're in a big war right now. It's election year. Man, this is the time. This is the time to make your footprint, to leave a legacy for your kids and your kids. Who do you want to be remembered as? Like I have, I have mine written of who I'm going to be remembered as. Whatever history brings, I'll be in it. My name will be mentioned. My name is being mentioned right now in rooms that I don't even know about. But my name, I will be here in history. I will be in history. You will hear of Latasha Resper. She was XXXXXXYZ. Listen, yeah, I'm a trailblazer. And so are you. So let's work together. Let's continue to pray. Let's continue to utilize our gifts. Dig deep down inside. Pray, ask God, what is your gift? What do you love to do? Let's do it, man. Let's make a business out of it. Let's do it. Because guess what? If we don't, we will spend our life building somebody else's dream. Because everything once was a thought, once was a vision. Everything was once a vision that they brought into fruition. So you too have the same gift. So let's work together. Let's pray. And let's bring our gifts to fruition this year, okay? We're doing it together because I'm doing it with you guys on this podcast. This Dear Future Me was a dream. Was once a dream, and it is once going to be one of the biggest podcasts, one of the biggest Netflix documentaries, one of the biggest YouTube. They're going to talk about how Dear Future Me was founded in her living room. The same thing they talk about Jeff Bezos, how he started in his basement, in his garage. I started right here in my little 1,200 square foot apartment, made my own Dear Future Me studio. Just wait on you guys. Don't forget, I told you so. You can do it too. If I can, you can. Because if they could, I could. That's the attitude that I had and still have. If they can do it, I can do it. If I can do, you can do. So let's do it. Thank you for joining me for Dear Future Me today. And we will be back next Saturday. I will have my studio will be redone. I have some new things that I bought. I'm waiting on my microphones. I'm going to have my first guest on next Saturday. I will post it in my on my social media pages. You can find me for my fashion page. You can find me at the Keek Collection on Instagram, Keek Collection on Facebook, Dear Future Me on YouTube. Good day. Thank you for joining me. Every Saturday at 3 o'clock, I will be live and in full effect with you guys every Saturday at 3 p.m. Be prepared to tune in to Dear Future Me. Okay? Thank you guys and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Mwah.